The establishment versus grassroots. Montana conservatives balk at Republican leadership's Senate pick for 2024. What is up, people? The internet, it is me, Real American, back again with a new video. And today, it is time that we talk about the 2024 Senate election in the great state of Montana. As everyone, it seems like we are going to have arguably the most vicious primary of the 2024 cycle in the state of Montana, as many in the grassroots conservative base are furious with the GOP establishment's pick to go against Jon Tester in Tim Sheehy. And it's sounding like the grassroots in Montana, they still want Matt Rosendale. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. Enough promotion stuff. Let's get into this. Now, let me be 100% transparent. All of you probably know I want Matt Rosendale. With that being said, originally it sounded like Sheehy wasn't a bad pick. You look at his history, he was a Navy SEAL, he had a quote-unquote successful business, and it seemed like he was decent, if not a bit generic on the issues, but, you know, he seemed alright. But in the past couple of weeks, there's been many things that have been coming out about Tim Sheehy and about his past, his record, and there's some serious question marks. And now, there's many in the grassroots base in Montana that they don't want anything to do with this guy. Montana Republicans voiced frustration to the Daily Caller News Foundation about political newcomer and former Navy SEAL Tim Sheehy for being what they view as the DC establishment's Senate candidate. The state's conservatives question how a candidate with no elected experience could beat Democratic incumbent Jon Tester in 2024, and told the DCNF they'd rather see GOP Representative Matt Rosendale vie for the seat. Yeah, even with all of the endorsements and seemingly the momentum for Sheehy, the grassroots, they want frickin' Rosendale. For the grassroots movement and people who knock doors and put up the signs and are busy for conservative Republican candidates, we have no idea who Tim Sheehy is. It's Sheehy who? Dr. L. Olszewski, the chairman of the Flathead County GOP, told the DCNF, he's a ghost. He has not been involved in local politics or statewide politics. I mean, in the state of Montana, it's not a good thing to just suddenly, pop out of the blue and run for office. I mean, Rosendale moved there 20 years ago, and he got attacked viciously by Jon Tester for not living in the state for that long, even though 20 years is quite a bit of time. But think about this. Sheehy moved there like 5 years ago. So, nobody knows who this guy is. He's suddenly running for the Senate seat, and there's evidence to say he hasn't lived there for more than like 6 years. Start to do the math. As prominent national Republicans line up behind a political newcomer and decorated veteran as their pick to win back a coveted Senate seat in 2024, grassroots Montana conservatives are frustrated with what they perceive as unwelcome outside influence attempting to sway the primary. NRSC Chairman Steve Daines of Montana and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell recruited Tim Sheehy, who quickly secured endorsements from Republican Governor Greg Gianforte and several other senators since his late June campaign launch. However, Montana Republicans and grassroots activists who spoke to the Daily Caller News Foundation view Sheehy as a DC establishment's candidate and would rather see Rosendale run for the seat currently held by Senator Jon Tester. Guys, the grassroots, they're not happy about this. I mean, I kind of wouldn't either when Mitch McConnell was involved in this. Not just Steve Daines. Daines is fine. But when McConnell had a hand in who was recruited, that's not a good sign. You've got really ultimately establishment versus grassroots and Sheehy versus Rosendale. Darren Grubb, co-founder of Restore Liberty in Montana, state director at the Freedom Caucus Network, told the DCNF, "We know that Rosendale is going to stand up and fight for Montana and the people regardless of what's going on in DC. And I can respect, and that's proven. Along with the backing of Senate leadership, Gianforte and Montana GOP Representative Ryan Zinke, Sheehy received endorsements from Senators Marsha Blackburn, Bill Hagerty, Tom Cotton, Eric Schmidt, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Mark Wayne Mullen, and Ted Budd. I'm kind of mad about some of these people. Frickin' Tom Cotton, Blackburn, Budd? You're picking the establishment candidates? I'm not too happy. The NRSC is focused on courting more moderate Republicans in swing states in 2024, citing losses in the 2022 midterms with more conservative candidates. What? Hold on a second. And basically every Senate seat. All right, let's look at this. Nevada, you look at frickin' Pennsylvania, you look at Georgia, North Carolina, all of them. McConnell was supporting a lot of those candidates for years. And now suddenly they need moderate candidates? Was Oz not moderate enough for you? Mike Berg, NRSC Communications Director, pointed to Rosendale's 2018 loss to Tester by 3.5 points and argued Sheehy has the ability to win the seat next year. These people are using a midterm in a blue wave against a popular Senate incumbent to prove that Rosendale can't win? I'm getting sick and tired of some of these people. I thought they were just on Twitter. Apparently, they're at the NRSC too. Unfortunately, Montana voters rejected Rosendale in 2018 and gave Jon Tester 50% of the vote for the first time during his long career in politics, Berg said. Conservatives in Montana and around the country are rallying around Tim's candidacy because of his support for America First policies and because they want to win back the Senate in 2024? Hold on. You don't want Rosendale, but because he's too conservative. But you want to support Sheehy because he's America First? Wait, hold on. Do you see my problem and why people are mad about this? Sheehy is a former Navy SEAL who fought in Afghanistan before starting an aerial firefighting business and ranching operation in Montana. Rosendale is yet to officially throw his hat into the 2024 Senate race, but his office is already firing back at the GOP establishment for backing Sheehy. This is an attempt by McConnell and the DC cartel to dismiss the voters of Montana, Rosendale's deputy chief of staff, Aska Varma, told the DCNF. Montana conservatives who oppose Sheehy argue that, among other things, he lacks name recognition and political experience in the state. Exactly! And it's not like Rosendale hasn't won statewide. He has twice. So this argument that Rosendale can't win, that's baloney. Rosendale can win. I'm not saying it's 100%, but either way. Multiple Montana conservatives argue that since Rosendale is more well-known in the state now and has a proven record in Congress, he'd have a better chance of beating Tester next year than he did in 2018. Rosendale would beat Shaheen in a potential primary by over 50 points, according to a June survey from the liberal firm PPP. The most recent polling on the 2024 election between Rosendale and Tester has the GOP congressman up 5 points. Rosendale is widely popular with GOP voters in the state, with 67% viewing him favorably and just 17% unfavorably. At 10% favorable and 14% unfavorable, Shaheen has a nominally greater profile than a name out of the phone book. Why do people want this guy? I thought in 2022, we can't run these outsiders again. We can't run people that have no name recognition, but suddenly we gotta run Shaheen? What we've got right now is an unknown who appears to be either 1, trying to buy a seat, 2, heavily endorsed by the establishment in DC, regardless of the fact that some of them aren't Montanans, like McConnell, Gabe told DCNF. Several Montana conservatives, like Senator Dan Bartel, criticized Daines for tapping a long shot to go up against Tester, when they already have a viable potential candidate with Rosendale. I mean, just keep reading this. People are not happy in Montana about this. And I think Rosendale could absolutely still pull this off. Is it likely? No. But it sounds like basically everybody in Montana, they're pissed off at this. And I would be too. This guy from out of state, and it's not like, if I hear the Dr. Oz comparison one more time, I'm going to lose brain cells. It's not like, he lived in Idaho, right on the border of Montana. No, he lived in Minnesota most of his life. Then, 5 years before now, he moved to Montana. It's like, why? I thought you cared so much about electability and, avoiding a competitive primary. Well, now, you're awakening a competitive primary. I would rather see him running and have that position in the Senate because I feel like Rosendale really stands behind Montanans and he really understands what we want and what we need, Tuscan said. I mean, it seems like the state legislator, right? Some of these are state senators. It sounds like they're still going to back Rosendale. So it's going to be definitely a very interesting primary because the grassroots, not too happy. And this includes people in the state legislature. And if, let's say Rosendale gets the Trump endorsement, well, that opens another can of worms. And I think that gives Rosendale a serious pathway. Do I think he wins a primary? I don't know. But it sounds like a lot of people, they're not buying Shaheen. Like, they still don't know who he is 2 months after he announced. Maybe there's some hope for the GOP in the state of Montana for Rosendale. But we just got to see what happens. Again, I always wanted Rosendale for this seat. He's getting the establishment support and a couple surprisingly good senators. But outside of Daines and Gianforte, it sounds like the entire Montana GOP, they're behind Rosendale. We're going to see what happens. I'm very intrigued. But the fact that some people are still using 2018 as evidence that Rosendale can't win, come on now. It was a blue wave. And don't give me the crap that, well, we won North Dakota. We flipped that one. Yeah, that state's far more Republican than Montana. So hopefully we see what happens. I hope we get Rosendale somehow. But I'm just happy that the GOP in Montana, they're not falling for this guy. It sounds like he's not liked, and he still isn't known yet. Just gotta see what happens. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.